It's the penultimate game of the 2019 regular season for the YD Red Sox here in Hyannis, Massachusetts, taking on the last place Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hyannis. It's McKeon Park, Brian McLaughlin, and Andre Sims. Andre, 2 games left in the regular season for YD, both against Hyannis. So a chance for these Red Sox against the bottom team in the Cape League this season to add a couple of wins and potentially square up the Eastern Division and their place come playoff time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on paper, this is about as favorable as you can get as far as a matchup is concerned. They beat this Hyannis team twice in the earlier back-to-back this season, and while the second game was close, absolutely at Red Wilson Field, when the offense turned it on, it really became no contest. And so for them, it's an opportunity to kind of get some of your numbers up, pad the stats a little bit if you want to. But you also can't come into the game with that mindset otherwise, because that's how you run into trouble. If you're saying, like, okay, I'm just going to come in here and I'm trying to go yard 3 times, I want to get 8 RBIs, like whatever it is, you kind of lose a little bit of focus. So they have to maintain their composure, keep a level head, and that's how they're going to be successful in these 2 games.
How is it for a team when you're gearing up for the playoff picture, but you play a team like Hyannis who only has 7 wins on the season? How do you stay motivated in these 2 so you're still playing at your tip-top playing competition level once we turn the page to Friday and playoffs get underway?
I think it comes down to you never want to go into the postseason playing bad baseball. You don't want to go in with an awkward, like in just an ugly game where things aren't really going too well. You're making errors. You got to stay sharp. In order to stay sharp, you have to keep yourself motivated. And these players are all talented enough, all high profile enough to where they don't have a problem motivating themselves for a game. They don't need anybody to tell them that this game is more important than the next or whatever it is. They all understand that. And so it's gotta come from within. It's gotta be yourself motivating you first, and that the rest of the game will follow.
Now, the teams who have already clinched the playoffs in the Eastern Division are Chatham, YD, and Orleans. Orleans already with a win today against Harwich in the first game of a doubleheader. Orleans plays Chatham later this evening. Harwich plays Brewster. It's a wild day in the Cape League where, especially in the Eastern Division, some crisscrossing games and doubleheaders due to the tornado last week. Andre, when you look at this YD team and the other teams that have made the playoffs, different approaches across the board for how they're getting ready with the pitching staffs prior to the playoffs. Chatham maybe not throwing some of their bigger arms. YD went with Brady Corrigan earlier this week in his first start of the season. Yesterday, they go with John Beller, maybe gearing him up, but he ends his outing short pitch count-wise. And today, Ryan Hare. How do you think YD is going to handle Hare and the bullpen? Hare, a normal starter, but maybe not see him go as long as he normally would.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be more of a bullpenning strategy. You're probably not going to see anyone, even if they're pitching well, go 5 or 6 innings over these last 2 games. There's just no sense really burning an arm and having them be unavailable for the next 3 or 4 days, because you don't want to take a good starter and have him unavailable for the entire first round. You also don't want to burn a reliever, having him go 6 outs, 9 outs, then potentially lose him for 3 days as well. So it's going to be some load management for sure. We're probably going to see a lot of guys going 1, maybe 2 innings max out of the bullpen. Starters probably no more than 3 or 4, depending on pitch count. So I think it'll definitely be a 27 outs by committee these last couple days.
It's Hyannis and YD from Hyannis, Massachusetts. We'll have the starting lineups and first pitch coming up next here. This is Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back at McKeon Park in Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the YD Red Sox tonight in this penultimate matchup of the 2019 Cape League season. YD comes in. Hyannis has been eliminated from the playoff picture. They are 7 Harbor Hawks tonight. It's his third appearance, third start out of Wingate. An 0-0 record with a 5.06 ERA for McCollum. The YD Red Sox lineup tonight, it's the normal trio up top. Young at short, Beasley in center, Wells in left field. Carson Taylor in the cleanup hole today, the switch hitter designated hits. Jack Thomas Wold at first base bats fifth. Riley King in the sixth spot at third. Tate Samuelson is in right field tonight batting seventh. Noah Cardenas does the catching and RJ Yeager bats ninth. First pitch to Wyatt Young, fastball that misses inside for ball one from McCollum, and we're underway from McKeon Park. A ball and no strikes to Young. He hits from the left side. Here's the 1-0. Fastball right at the knees, a called strike, 1-1. Larry Rosenberg at third base today for the umpires. Joe Peters at first, and Ken Cyber calls the balls and strikes. The wind from McCollum. Here's the 1-1. Young lifts it, pop up, shallow left field. Coming in is Hoover, the left fielder. Settles underneath and makes an easy catch. Can of corn for Hoover for the first out on the top of the first off the bat of Young. One down now for Brad Beasley. The rest of the defense for the Harbor Hawks today. Trevor Hoover's in left. Bryce Teodosio in center. Hunter Goodman is in right field. Jackson Olsen at the hot corner. Jordan Westberg at short. Lucas Dunn at second and Ian Fair at first. First pitch to Beasley, slashed foul up the first base line. No balls and a strike to Beasley. Adam Hackenberg out of Clemson does the catching with McCollum today. Beasley with 10 doubles, 3 home runs this season, hitting .279. Here's the 0-1. Misses right at the letters, a ball and a strike to Beasley. Beasley, the 2-year player for the Red Sox, an experienced man who was a starter in the playoffs last year for YD. The 1-1. Fastball called strike, knee high from McCollum. It's a ball and 2 strikes. YD preparing for the playoffs once again. They've been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs 2 straight years. 1-2. Breaking ball popped up. Right side, it's out of play. Foul ball from Beasley. Another 1-2 pitch coming up. McCollum this year at Wingate was primarily a bullpen arm. No starts, 20 appearances. He had a 4.10 ERA. The 1-2. Off speed. Beasley chases, but he fouls it off. Back to the netting. Stays alive. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Austin Wells had no idea that that ball was coming and handled it smoother than I ever could have.
Shocker.
That's why he's on that side of the net and we're over here.
That's correct. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off again by Beasley. Having a battle, 3 straight foul balls with 2 strikes for the YD center fielder. Beasley has been swinging a hot bat of late. Couple of home runs, really finding the power stroke. He has firmly placed himself in the number 2 spot in this order, sandwiched by Young and Wells. Bases empty, 1 down in the first. The 1-2. Fastball bounced back up the middle. That's a base hit. McCollum tried to swipe it behind his back. An acrobatic attempt by the starter, but it gets into center field, and Beasley's aboard with 1 down for the Sox. Almost an incredible play by McCollum, but he came up with just air on the backhanded swipe. Now Austin Wells, one of the MVP favorites, probably between him and Nick Gonzalez of Cotuit at this point. Wells hitting .322. And he and Gonzalez are 1 and 2 in extra base hits. Wells 13 doubles, 7 home runs. He has crushed the Harbor Hawks. First pitch, wave and a miss from Wells. Right through a fastball. It's 0-1. Wells in left field today. He's played some left, center, and right fields, and his primary position is catcher. Check on first. Beasley belly flops back to the bat. Scoreless in the top of the first here between YD and Hyannis. Beautiful night for baseball. Slight breeze blowing out to center field. Cloudless blue sky overhead. McCollum from the stretch, the 0-1. Fouled off by Wells on a fastball in on the hands. No balls and 2 strikes to Wells. Wells coming off an 0 for 5 day yesterday. That snapped a 2-game stretch where he was red hot. He was 6 for 7, 4 doubles. Multiple walks in that stretch as well for Wells. 0 for 5, a couple of strikeouts, and the YD lost to Orleans yesterday. Another check on Beasley. He's back in plenty of time. Carson Taylor on deck for the Sox here in the first. It's going to be a fascinating last 3 days of the regular season here in the Cape League. 0-2 to Wells. Sailed to the backstop. Kicks right back to Hackenberg. Throws to second. Not in time. Beasley gets in with the feet first slide. Off speed was sailed over the head of Hackenberg. It ricocheted solidly off the blue padding right here behind home plate at McKeon Park. Hackenberg almost had a play, but Beasley, good speed, moves up to second on the wild pitch. YD with just 2 games over these final 3 days of the regular season. Their competitors in the Eastern Division, however, have 3+. Wells rips a 1-2 foul up the first base line on the ground. Another 1-2 pitch. Orleans in a doubleheader today. So is Chatham. So is Harwich. But all against different teams. Orleans already beat Harwich today 8-5 once. Orleans and Chatham match up coming up here at 7. Brewster and Harwich play at 6:30. 1-2 to Wells. Breaking ball misses inside to the lefty. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brewster already played Chatham once today. So it's essentially just a round robin between the rest of the division.
We were fortunate that we were in Hartford that day.
All of this havoc caused by the tornado that swept through the Cape a little over a week ago. 2-2. Swing and a miss from Wells. He goes down swinging on a fastball. Beasley still on second with 2 down in the first for YD.
The designated hitter for Virginia Tech, number 22, Carson Taylor.
If we had not been in Hartford that day, we'd have a makeup game with Wareham.
That'd be a tough doubleheader.
That would be a tough doubleheader, especially if we had to travel in between. Luckily, all this traveling in these doubleheaders today, that's out of the ordinary, is within the Eastern Division, so nobody going to travel longer than about a half hour. Now Carson Taylor, 2 down. First pitch to Taylor. Breaking ball, crosses the inside corner for a called strike 1. Taylor, the switch hitter out of Virginia Tech, in just his still first week on the Cape. He's 5 for 28, but he has scored 6 times, hit 2 3-run home runs, and has 6 RBIs. 0-1. Fastball misses down and inside, a ball and a strike. A lot of trust here from pick shown to Carson Taylor, putting him in the cleanup spot. Still just his first week. Noah Campbell has been banged up. He was playing yesterday, but perhaps another day off, back out of the lineup today. Generally, you can slot Campbell, the switch hitter from South Carolina, in this cleanup role. The 1-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Waist high, painted the inside corner to Taylor. A ball and 2 strikes to Taylor. Top of the first, 0-0, YD and Hyannis. Beasley leads from second. He reached earlier in the inning on a single up the middle. The 1-2 pitch. Beasley takes off for third, hit on the ground, right side. Couple of steps to the left for Dunn. The grass loaded up. He gobbles and throws to first to get Carson Taylor. YD strands Beasley in scoring position after a single in the first. 0-0 after a half here in Hyannis. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the first, back at Hyannis. YD had a scoreless top of the first inning against Tommy McCollum, and now it's Ryan Hare's turn on the bump for the Red Sox. The UNLV Rebel is making his 5th start of the season for YD. He has an 0-2 record, a 5.40 ERA in 15 innings. He'll face a Hyannis lineup today, led off by Jordan Westberg, the shortstop. Ian Fair bats second. The third baseman has swung a really hot bat here in Hyannis at a Northeastern. Hunter Goodman, the all-star, bats third at a Memphis in right field. Jared DeSantolo, the designated hitter, bats cleanup. Trevor Hauver out of Arizona State is in left field batting 5th. Lucas Dunn, the second baseman, 6th. Jackson Olson, third baseman, 7th. Adam Hackenberg out of Clemson, the catcher, bats 8th. And Bryce Teodosio rounds out the order, batting 9th. First pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1 to Jordan Westberg. It's 0-1. Westberg hitting .333 with 4 home runs on the season. Here's the 0-1. Off speed from Hare, misses away to Westberg. It's a ball into strike. Westberg, 4 long balls, 14 driven in. The Mississippi State man who's played just over half the year has been great. 1-1, fouled back to the netting. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2, nobody down. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0. Hyannis and YD. 1-2. Curveball, called strike 3. Hare puts it on the inside corner, and Westberg goes down looking for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Good start for Ryan Hare, who has struggled at times this season for the Red Sox. Not so much with walks, but he's allowed 20 hits in 15 innings, been hit around at times. Hare from the windup. Base is clear. First pitch grounded, left side. That's going to get through. Whitey had the shift on for the righty, Ian Fair. Pokes it in the hole where Wyatt Young would normally be set up at shortstop, but it's a single with 1 down for Hyannis. Both teams with 1-out singles in the first inning, and that brings up Hunter Goodman, 35 RBIs to the plate with 1 down. Hare will work from the stretch with Fair on first, Goodman at the plate. Goodman, one of the RBI leaders, in fact, the RBI leader in the Cape League with 35. First pitch to the righty, checked his swing, appeal to first. He did not go around. Joe Peters had the arms out to his sides. Ball 1 to Goodman on the breaking ball from Hare. Goodman, while the RBIs stand out, he leads the league by 3. Is also up there in strikeouts with 42. 0-1. Hit in the air, shallow left field. That's dropping in the left center gap, and it gets down in front of Brad Beasley. Off the end of the bat, poked into left center. A soft single from Goodman. And there's runners on first and second. 1 down in the first for Hyannis.
And you mentioned it, Brian. This is what Ryan Hare struggles with, is just getting hit around. And sometimes you can chalk it up to just some balls finding the right spots and just sitting down. And sometimes it's unfortunate, but the fact is that he gives up a lot of contact and a lot of hard contact as well. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to dial in if he wants to have a prominent role with this team come the postseason. Otherwise, probably going to be a very seldom used pitcher.
Hare from the stretch. Jared DeSantolo, the cleanup man with 3 home runs this season. Hits from the left side. First pitch off speed, rolled softly right side. Yeager, the second baseman, charges, glances to second. He has to go to first on the slow roller, and they retire DeSantolo. Goodman advances to second, Fair all the way to third. 2 in scoring position with 2 down now after the DeSantolo grounder. In the bottom of the first, it's Trevor Hauver out of Arizona State with 2 down. Hauver hitting .237 on the season. He hits from the left side. A couple of long balls with 12 RBIs. Deep crouch for Hauver. Hare still from the stretch. First pitch. Misses, great block by Cardenas. The pitch was spiked by Hare. Cardenas slid to his right and chested it right back on the dish to hold the base runners where they are and keep Fair from racing home. 0-0, bottom of the first. Ryan Hare for YD dealing to Trevor Hauver of Hyannis. Runners on second and third. The 1-0. Change up, notches the outer edge for a called strike. That's 1-1. Hyannis' offense, 9th in the Cape League in runs. While the pitching has really struggled, the offense has not gotten it going either this season. Here's the 1-1. Fastball picked behind the runner at third. The tag applied, not in time. High throw behind the base runner, fair at third base. King was covering, had to reach up just above his head to catch it. And by the time he laid the tag back down, it was not in time. 2 balls and a strike to Hover. YD's going to catch somebody with that move in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be important. 2 balls and a strike. Hare to Hover. Off speed misses down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Walk might not be the worst thing here. This is a base open at first base. Runners are on second and third with 2 down for Hyannis. Although Lucas Dunn is a pretty dangerous hitter on deck from Louisville. The names are there in this Hyannis lineup. The production just hasn't been for their big guns. Here's the 3-1. Hover hits it in the air, left field. Austin Wells moving towards the line, coming in out of the shadows, and he makes the catch. Trotting forward, Hare works around a couple of singles, and Hyannis leaves 2 in scoring position in the first. Second inning coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the second inning, YD back out to face Tommy McCollum for Hyannis. First pitch to Jack Thomas Wold, misses low and away to the lefty for ball 1. It's Wold, King, and Samuelson, 5-6-7 for the Red Sox here in the second against McCollum. 0-0, the 1-0. Fastball, misses low and outside to Wold again, 2 balls and no strikes. Brad Beasley singled for the Sox in the first. He advanced to second on a wild pitch, but was left in scoring position. Here's the 2-0. Swinging a foul back by Wold. He took a big cut on the 2-0. Just underneath it. 2 balls and a strike. Wold 3 home runs on the season. When he connects, he can send it a long way. The wind from McCollum and the righty with the 2-1. Wold drives this one in the air. Pretty deep left field. That's chasing back Hover. Near the warning track, he makes the catch. Just enough room for Hover as Wold launched one to the opposite field. It's a loud first out in the second for YD.
I don't hate that from Jack Thomas Wold. I think that's a good sign for him going forward. Driving the ball, looking to drive the ball to the opposite field. We see, that's something that Pick works on a lot with him in the cages. He's almost forcing him to go the other way in BP to try to get him to work more center field. And then we know the power is there to his pull side.
First pitch breaking ball, a called strike to Riley King. It's 0-1.
So if he could just kind of get out of his own head a little bit, stop trying to pull everything per se, think more center field. The home runs are still going to be there. It's like no one's doubting the power. He's just got to work on the approach.
0-1, check swing. King does go around. It's 0-2. Wold is one of those guys, Andre, that the reason this YD offense is so dangerous is because there are so many role players that we have seen be so special at times. I feel like Wold is one of those guys that we've seen the flashes. 0-2 to King. Swing and a miss over a breaking ball low. He goes down swinging Second strikeout today for McCollum on the mound, and there's 2 down, scoreless, top of the second. But now Tate Samuelson, I think, belongs in that category as well with Jack Thomas Wold. If those guys get hot, this offense is different level.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, when you look at this lineup and the way it's constructed, if you have Wold and Samuelson producing, I think Cardenas is another guy in the 8 hole that fits that same category.
First pitch breaking ball misses to Samuelson, 1-0.
Where on any given day, if you have just 2 of those guys, 6 through 9, that have a big day, a 2 for 3 day, a couple RBIs, whatever it may be, this team is hard to beat.
1-0, fouled back on a fastball up high to Samuelson, 1-1.
As we say it all the time, this team's at its best when the bottom of the order is getting on base for the top half to drive them in. And so if these batters 6 through 9 in the order, at any given time, we've seen them have those great games.
1-1 fastball right on the inside edge to Samuelson, a ball and 2 strikes.
It's not like it's not like you just get through 6 and it's a bunch of sub 200 hitters who, you just kind of got to scuffle through them and whatever you get, you get. It's like, no.
1-2 breaking ball in the dirt to Samuelson, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We absolutely know that the talent is there and the production can be there as well. So all a long-winded way of saying absolutely there's a ton of role players on this team.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases clear with 2 outs for Samuelson. The pitch, breaking ball. He lays off. It misses low, and the count is full.
That was a good take.
0-0. Great take from Samuelson. Aside from the All-Stars, King, Young, Wells, and Campbell, and Brad Beasley, the role player is so important. 3-2 misses upstairs, and that's a great at-bat from Tate Samuelson. He draws a 2-out walk against McCollum here in the second. Couple pitches that were borderline breaking balls that he laid off and ends up drawing the walk, a promising sign for him since he's seeing the ball well there. Now Noah Cardenas, another one who I think has saw it really well recently. In his last 2 starts, he has 4 RBIs. He has a season total of 6 ribbies. So he's got 2/3 of his RBIs in his last 2 games, hitting .277, the leader at UCLA in hitting this year, the #1 team in the country. Maybe the biggest mystery in this lineup, Noah Cardenas, because I don't even know if we've seen him at his best.
I'm not sure that we have either.
I think we've seen flashes of Wold, Samuelson, Palmer at their best. I don't think we've seen even a flash yet of Cardenas.
He does feel a bit like an untapped well right now, to where all of a sudden he could ride a hot streak. Should really show that 350-plus hitter that he was at UCLA.
First pitch, breaking ball misses up to Cardenas, 1-0. And it feels like he's more comfortable around the team right now, doesn't it?
It seems like he's looser.
Yeah.
He got in, he's kind of settled into his role. He realizes that he gets regular game time behind the plate, which I think is something that he appreciates. Because obviously when you're platooning with a guy like Austin Wells, that's the guy that's going to get all the attention, all the love, steal all the thunder.
1-0. He checked his swing and a fastball up. 2 balls and no strikes.
And I think comfortable is a good word to use. I think he's just settled in nicely. He's playing a little bit more relaxed. He looks looser out there. We know the defense is there. We know the throwing ability is there. He's playing a lot more comfortable and confident right now.
Part of that because he arrived relatively late due to UCLA making a deep run. 2-0, change up right on the low and inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. 0-0, top of the second. Samuelson's on first for Cardenas, the 8-man in the order for YD. We haven't really seen the power, just 3 doubles on the year for Cardenas, and that was similar for what he had at UCLA, about on par with the numbers. Just the average of 375 at UCLA we haven't seen yet. Grounds the 2-1 to the left side, charging the third baseman Olsen. Sidearm throw to first, gets Cardenas for the 3rd out of the second. Samuelson walks with 2 outs, but he's stranded at first. We're scoreless through an inning and a half at McKeon Park. This is Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the second. First pitch from Ryan Hare. Line drive over the leaping head of Wyatt Young at shortstop from Lucas Dunn. And it's a leadoff soft single to left for the Harbor Hawks here in the second. 0-0 YD and Hyannis. First pitch swinging. Dunn off the end of the bat just poked it over 5'7" Wyatt Young's head at shortstop. If he's 6 foot, he might reel that one in. First time we've seen the height come back to hurt Wyatt this year in an otherwise all-star summer. One on, nobody down for the Harbor Hawks here in the second inning. Jackson Olsen at the plate. First pitch breaking ball. Olsen squared to bunt, but he pulls it back. It misses low from Hare. 1-0. YD in there, road red uniforms, white pants with the right pinstripes. Hyannis, home white tops. 1-0. Misses down and inside to Olsen. 2-0. Orange numbers, blue trim for the Harbor Hawks. Similar pinstriping to what we see from the Chatham Anglers in their home uniform. Blue up and down the entire uniforms. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody down. On first, it's done. Hare's going to check on him. He's back with a head-first slide. Dunn, 2 stolen bases on 4 attempts this season.
Water, soda. Don't die of dehydration. Spin the buckets just like vacation.
2-0.
Water.
Bottom of the second.
Don't die of dehydration.
The lefty Olsen at the plate. Swing and a miss on the 2-0 as some water boys just walked by. It's a hot one, folks, here in Hyannis. The big sell point for me was don't die of dehydration, Andre.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell with the headset on what the rest of the rhyme was.
Nope.
It was don't die of dehydration, spend $1 and something Asian, and I missed the end of it.
2-1, runner goes, fouled into the Red Sox dugout. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Olsen. I don't know what the rest of it was either. I just heard don't die of dehydration, and I took a sip of my water.
There's a guy in Arizona that's a vendor there. There's actually 2. He won vendor of the year, and he'll just go around the stands at the ASU baseball game time. I can just go, hydrate or die, and just leave it at that.
I'm sold. I'm
like you can't not buy water at that
no,
point.
That's incredible. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jackson Olsen at the plate, done at first. Good lead. Doesn't go anywhere. 2-2. Fouled off by Olsen. Another 2-2 pitch coming up. 0-0 here in the second.
And fun fact about that vendor, Orleans, this shouldn't shock you at all, but
Okay.
Orleans sideline reporter Scotty Gage did a story on that vendor
Yes.
that aired on our Pac-12 Plus broadcasts during inning breaks. Great. There's some characters. There's him. There's the lemonade like grandma made vendor.
2-2, swing and a miss over the top of an off speed, blocked by Cardenas, and he applies the tag for the first out of the second.
Number 30, Adam
That's quite the story there from Scotty.
Oh yeah, it's actually electric stuff. If assuming that YD plays Orleans in the first round, we'll have to ask
I'm going to
him
ask
for
him.
it.
I'm going to wonder if I can get my hands on that video.
We'll get the package somehow, some way, and you can check it out.
Wonderful.
It's pretty great.
Scotty himself is a character, so I'm sure that makes it even more
It was
fun.
a great package.
Runner on first, 1 down. Adam Hackenberg at the plate. Hare's going to spin and check on first base. The entire infield still covered in sun. Dunn back safely on the throw. A little bit of a breeze that comes and goes here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. One of the hottest days, I think, of the summer on Cape Cod, at least when there's no breeze going on. Luckily enough, we're in the shade at the moment here on the first base side. First pitch, off speed. Hackenberg twists out of the way. Almost caught a piece of his jersey. It's 1-0. Now there was, while we're on the topic of vendors, a recent story run in The Athletic Chicago about a longtime Chicago vendor who recently passed away. And it was a great feature. Hackenberg drills the 1-0 deep in the air to left. Wells racing back near the wall. He makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Throw back to the infield. Dunn runs back to first. He's back safely. Deep park here in Hyannis. Austin Wells just kept trotting backwards and reeled it in as if he were a wide receiver over the shoulder for a fine second out.
That was an incredible catch from Austin Wells. Not in the sense that it was particularly difficult. He didn't have to leap, wasn't laying out. but the way he just coasted back, there was no sprint, there was no panic. He knew exactly where he was just gliding back with that foul ball as it carried. Well done from the left fielder.
Now Bryce Tito out of Clemson. Back-to-back Tigers at the bottom of the order. Wave and a miss on the first pitch fastball from Hare. Now, if I told you after watching that play, Austin Wells has played left field his entire life and never any other position, you would believe me, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. If I knew nothing about Austin Wells, I'd think he was just a natural left fielder.
He's a natural catcher, folks. Best athlete on this team. 0-1 the count to Tito, the 9-man up for Hyannis. 0-0 in the bottom of the second. 0-1 the count. Hare from the stretch. Checks again on Dunn. He's back safely. Good move from Hare. But back to the vendor story. So this vendor has worked Chicago sporting events, Blackhawks, Bulls, especially the Bears and Cubs, his entire life. And his nickname is Guns because of how big his biceps are from carrying around heavy buckets of different beverages throughout his lifetime.
That's honestly a great workout plan.
It really is.
Never have to hit the gym a day in your life.
0-1 misses down and away. It's a ball and a strike. They said he got the job from one of his high school teachers who did it part-time. He graduated high school, was looking for just part-time work, and ends up getting the job and works his entire life as a Chicago vendor. Tito skies the 1-1 in the air to right field. Room for both Beasley and Samuelson. It's Beasley, the center fielder, to make the catch. Hare is able to escape the inning after a leadoff single from Dunn. 0-0 after a pair here in Hyannis. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Oh no!
Top of the third inning here at McKeon Park as the 9-hole man R.J. Yeager steps in, playing second base. Nine, 1, and 2 for the Red Sox here as Yeager on the ground to short, picked on the backhand by Westberg, and it's over to first, and that's the first out of the inning, 6-3.
Good contact from Yeager, but that's a nice backhanded stop and a strong throw from Westberg. Yeager runs pretty well, and they get him for the first out here in the third.
Number 7, Wyatt Young.
Top of the order now, Wyatt Young strides to the plate for his second at-bat of the season. Still in the thick of things for the batting title on Cape Cod this summer. It's going to come right down to the league's final day. Shortstop batting from the left side. Hits one on the screws, but it's into left center field. Bryce Teodosio's underneath it. He'll squeeze it for the second out of the inning.
Wyatt Young feels like he's been popping up a little bit often lately. A couple of flyouts so far today. A pop out yesterday as well. Just an interesting observation. I'm not sure if that's something he's feeling, but feels like he's been getting under the ball a little bit more. Solid contact underneath it. His timing's good, just a bit under it.
First pitch now to Brad Beasley. It's an off-speed pitch that dips low for a ball, 1-0. I've noticed with McCollum, looks like he has a slight hitch in his delivery. It just feels like there's a bit of a hesitation as he's bringing the ball up.
Yeah, the ball really stays down low for a while, and then at the last second, he kind of snaps it up above his ear. It's a quick arm action with the ball once he gets going towards home plate.
2-0 pitch to Beasley. Skied on the infield. Lucas Dunn underneath it. Squeezes it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Red Sox. We're still scoreless here in Hyannis. It's 0-0 through 2.5. We head to the bottom of the third here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the third, still scoreless here at McKeon Park at Judy Walden Scarafile Field. That one's right back up the middle. Yeager was positioned perfectly, exciting base. He'll go to Wold, and that's the first out of the inning, 4-3. One pitch, one out for Ryan Hare.
Hyannis has been really aggressive against Ryan Hare. It's back-to-back. First pitch of an inning swinging, and both are hit well. This one just right at, like you said, Yeager positioned well up the middle to make the play.
Ian Fair now steps in. First pitch to him is in there, belt high for a strike. 0-1. Fair's at 362 on the year. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Count evens now at 1-1. And in a Hyannis team that was desperate for offense midway through the season, the additions of Fair and Westberg really helped out this team.
No question. Fair and Westberg both hitting above 300, both have some power. They have brought this offense a bit of life.
1-1 pitch on the ground, takes a wicked hop off the grass. Young fields it on the backhand, goes across the diamond to first. It's the second out of the inning.
That ball doesn't take that hop. That might squeak through the infield. Instead, it slows up big time right off the lip of the grass in the air for Young to grab it on just one hop and have time to set himself and throw. If that ball stays low to the ground, Young is making a tough backhanded stop and probably throwing all off his back foot.
So a quick 2 outs for Ryan Hare in the third. And his first pitch to Hunter Goodman is skied into shallow right. Samuelson comes charging in, takes command and makes the play for the third out of the inning. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Hare. The pitchers on display early here in Hyannis. We're through 3 full. We head to the top of the fourth. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Wells.
Austin Wells set to lead things off 3, 4, and 5. For YD here in the top of the 4th inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. Lefty out of U of A looks at the first pitch fastball high for a ball 1-0. It was a quick first time through the order for Tommy McCollum out of Wingate, North Carolina. Only allowed the 1 hit and 1 walk. Austin Wells swinging hard at the 1-0 pitch and fouls it straight back to the screen. It's 1-1. We'll see if this YD order, the second time through, can find more success. And that is one thing, Brian, that this team does really, really well is make adjustments at bat to at bat as Wells swings through another fastball, and it's 1-2.
They really do. And I think a lot of that comes from deep counts that they go through at different times in the order. They're not a team that is going to chase a lot of pitches, generally see the ball pretty well. And I think that's where the adjustments come from.
1-2 to Wells, rings him up on the outside corner. That's the first out of the inning. Third strikeout now.
Now batting for the Red Sox, the designated
for Tommy McCollum.
Number 22, Carson Taylor.
Carson Taylor steps in now, the DH out of Virginia Tech. Switch hitter batting from the left side here. First pitch to him misses downstairs. And it's 1-0. First 1-0 pitch to Taylor is a breaking ball that drops in at the belt for a strike, 1-1. Jack Thomas Wold waits on deck. The Red Sox look to get something going here in the top of the 4th. Still scoreless here in Hyannis between the Harbor Hawks and the Red Sox. That one just misses below the knees, and it's 2-1. Shadows continuing to creep in. All of left field now engulfed in shadows. Right side of the field still very much in the sun. Taylor calls time in the box. He'll step out and readjust.
Wonder if this team could use another off day here on Jay. They're eyeing up that this upcoming Thursday. They've been up and down really this entire month of July.
On the ground to first. Ian Ferris gloves it. He'll go to the bag, and that's the second out of the inning, 3 unassisted.
Just feels like to me they've been riding a bit of a roller coaster here in July. Coming off the All-Star break, they were good, but any given day, it's been just a weird month, I think, for these Red Sox. You don't know which team you're going to get offensively on the anytime through the order, really, much less any day in, day out.
It does feel like the most consistent thing about this team is sometimes their inconsistency offensively. Game in and game out, inning in and inning out.
Yeah.
The first pitch to Wold, it swung on and missed. It's 0-1. The 0-1. That one's in the dirt. Wold spits on it, and it's 1-1. Unlike some teams on Cape Cod, the Red Sox have kept their off day this upcoming Thursday, day before the playoffs, and something that could pay huge dividends for this team.
Mostly because of pitching, but also gives these offensive guys a day to get their legs underneath them.
Wold kept his hands back on the off-speed pitch, but spoils it foul. It's 1-2. A lot of games played in the month of July. 20 straight before a rainout. Only had the break for the All-Star break, the one rainout, and that was it. Wold spoils the 1-2 pitch, fouled back to the screen. Second time around, still haven't gotten the rhyme.
We'll ask everybody. We'll poll the crowd after this half inning.
1-2 to Wold is smoked, but foul down the right field line. And it's still 1-2 with Riley King waiting on deck. The 1-2 pitch goes all the way back. Wold will take his walk.
Yeah, might have caught a piece of Wold's on like the ankle shin area. They'll head down. Another 2-out base runner for YD. They had one in the second as well.
So Riley King will bat with 2 outs and Jack Thomas Wold on first.
Now batting for the Red Sox, the third baseman from Georgia, number 4,
Riley King struck out his first time through the order.
It's time to start keeping an eye on the Brewster-Harwich game, Andre, just underway. 0-0 in the first. That has massive implications. If Brewster wins, they are only a point back of Harwich for the 4th spot in the East.
First pitch to Riley King misses inside, and it's 1-0. For those wondering why, that has implications.
Yes.
For this YD team. We'll determine who Chatham plays in the first round as Riley King skies one on the infield. Ian Fair underneath it. He fights the sun and makes the play, and that'll end the inning. 2-out base runner is stranded as Riley King pops out to end the frame. We're through 3.5, still scoreless here at McKeon Park. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 4th here at McKeon Park as we are back with you. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin, Ryan Hare out for his 4th inning as the first pitch to Jared DeSantolo is cut on and missed, and it's 0-1. DeSantolo batting from the left side. The 0-1 pitch is flared foul and out of play off the left side, and it's 0-2. DeSantolo digging back in. DeSantolo had a couple of good games against YD in the first of the 2 doubleheaders these 2 teams played.
He's had a good season in general, hitting just a tick below 300 coming in. Him and Hunter Goodman have really been the bright spots from day 1 to the end of the season here.
Two count now to DeSantolo. Florida Atlantic product. Ryan Hare out of the windup. And it's now a full count. More patient approach from DeSantolo here in this at-bat than we've seen from a lot of the Hyannis lineup through the first time through the order.
They've been really aggressive. Hare's yet to walk anybody here into the 4th.
Payoff pitch is fouled back to the screen, and it's still 3-2.
Hare's throwing a couple of curveballs in this at-bat as well. He's commanded his pitches well in the zone today, but he's left a couple over the middle, and that's why Hyannis has 3 hits.
Payoff pitch. Once again, fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again.
I'd keep going fastball. Keep challenging him with the heater. If he fouls off another one, then maybe I try to expand the zone with the curveball, maybe low. But at the moment, I'm sticking heater here.
DeSantolo's been on it, fouled them all back to the screen. The 3-2 again. Went with the curveball, and it's flared into shallow center field. Yeager racing back, and he'll make the play in shallow center field for the first out of the inning. So Ryan Hare, good on him for winning the battle there. keeps the leadoff runner off.
And that last pitch was a really good one. Off speed in on the hands of DeSantelo. He couldn't do much with it, just flared into shallow center field. That's a great job by Ryan Hare. I know it's a lineup that maybe doesn't have the most prowess, but this is as good as we've seen Ryan Hare as a Red Sox.
Trevor Hauver now steps in. First pitch to him is a fastball in there for a called strike 0-1. Hauver, Sun Devil. One of a plethora of Sun Devils here on the Cape this summer. Both on the field and wearing the headsets.
What a young team that's going to be going back to ASU next year.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be no longer young, but experienced.
1-1 pitch is upstairs, and it's now 2-1.
I mean, just off the top of my head, for Whitey, we've had Drew Swift, Eric Tolman, Brady Corrigan have been the main three. And then for other teams, Gage Workman, we've had Spencer Torkelson, here Trevor Hauver.
Smoked on the ground. That's a fair ball. That'll get into the corner. Hauver's digging for two. He's going to coast in there easily. Throws cut off, and it's a one-out double for Trevor Hauver.
Fourth double of the season for Hauver. Just rolled it down the first baseline inside the bag, and Wold was playing relatively off the line, had no chance at it. Feel like your expectations for ASU baseball have to be pretty high going into next year, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with ASU baseball is they started off so hot.
Yep.
Last season, obviously, it fell off. It really just fell off a cliff at the end because they ran out of arms. They didn't have enough pitching. They were carrying a light staff intentionally. They've tried to correct some of that through some transfers in their recruiting class this year. The offense is going to be there. Yeah, they lose Hunter Bishop, but torque is torque at this point. You know exactly what you're going to get. It was a team that hit right around 300 as a unit last season, so you know the offense is going to be there. It really comes down to, are they going to have enough pitchers? So you look at a guy like Eric Tolman, who had a good freshman season on the mound as a two-way player for ASU. He'll step into a bigger role. Boyd Vanderkoy, the other Red Sox ASU pitcher, they're going to really lean on him. Brady Corrigan as well. So it's really going to come down to the arms. That'll determine ASU's success, as it's now 2-0 to Lucas Dunn.
You said torque is going to torque. Feels like he's got to be the favorite for the Golden Spikes Award, right?
That and the #1 pick.
Yeah. Tank for torque.
Tank for torque, as our other broadcaster, TJ Mathewson, says.
It's going to be a Marlin.
You would really hate to see that for Peach if the Mariners tank for torque and end up getting the #2 pick.
Yep. He's not going to Teach.
I don't believe Spencer Torkelson is going anything.
And even if the Mariners have a shot at him, they're going to pass on him.
3-0 count.
They'll trade them. They'll trade him. That's what'll happen.
The Mariners will trade down to the #4 pick for some reason. 4-pitch walk for Lucas Dunn, and now for the first time tonight, Ryan Hare found himself in a little bit of trouble, and there's 2 on and 1 out.
At the moment, the Detroit Tigers hold the #1 pick.
This is true. He's going to be a Tiger.
Maybe he'll be I wouldn't hate that.
Him and Casey Mize, the future of Detroit Tigers baseball.
That would be a really fun duo.
That would be. Casey Mize, of course, I saw him here on Cape Cod after his freshman year at Auburn, and you could see the flashes that summer. He was coming up freshman year. Auburn leaned on him as the ace as a freshman. The numbers weren't great, but you could tell the stuff was there. Learned the circle change that summer, as that one's absolutely smoked, and it gets through the wickets of Jack Thomas Wold. Hauver will come in to score. Lucas Dunn goes first to third, and it's an RBI for Jackson Olsen. Bit of an unfortunate luck. We'll see if they score that a hit or an error for Wold, as it split the 5-hole and got into right field, allowing Hauver to score.
Now batting for the Harbor Hawks, the catcher from Clemson, #30, Adam Hackenberg.
It is going to be an error on Wold, so that run, for the time being, unearned.
So now it's runners on the corners, still 1 down. Double ground ball, double play, gets Hare out of the inning. Yeah, it was fun watching Casey Mize put it together on the Cape, learning the circle change from Gunnar Leger, Louisiana Lafayette star. The first pitch to Adam Hackenberg misses, and it's now 5 straight balls for Ryan Hare.
That's always fun when pitchers learn a new pitch from a teammate in summer ball that someone they wouldn't be exposed to other than just randomness. Out of all the summer teams across the country, they get with the guy who's able to teach them a new pitch.
And Gunnar Leger's changeup was probably one of the most beautiful pitches that I've ever gotten to watch firsthand. I mean, the guy had Maddox level control, threw over like close to 100 innings at Louisiana Lafayette, and still came and pitched that summer. Gave up 1 earned run in 25 innings. 1-1 pitch is waved at and miss.
Sounds like someone who loves to pitch.
He was one of my favorite players. You talk about a guy like Riley Tirada that's easy to root for. Gunnar Leger, I wish him nothing but the absolute best. I still will have a quick interaction on Twitter here or there. We'll see something about him, see some news about him. I'm really rooting for his success, but he taught Casey Mize that pitch, and I think Casey Mize, as a sophomore, had an ERA sub-2.
That'll play.
He came back as a sophomore and absolutely dealt, and that was what skyrocketed him into that first pick conversation.
That's one of those other great things about summer ball. When you see a guy who has the raw tools, put it together. And see them put it together come school ball, and then again the next summer and get taken high. That's so fun.
1-2 pitch is fouled back. Still 1-2.
I'll tell you a guy who I had last summer that's putting it together right now is Barron Radcliffe.
Yes.
Barron Radcliffe has come here and had a great summer ball with the Cape. He hit almost 300 this spring with one of the best teams in the ACC and Georgia Tech. That's a good story for Barron Radcliffe, who's really put it together over the last 2 years.
1-2 pitch. Misses downstairs. The count evens to 2. I've pulled up Casey Mize's stats from his sophomore year.
Let's hear it.
You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
He went, I have to count the record. It's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 wins. The ERA was 2.04, 109 strikeouts against 9 walks.
How many innings?
In 83 2/3.
Whew.
As Adam Hackenberg goes down swinging for a big second out of the inning.
Over 100 strikeouts in 83 innings is
as
pretty
a starter.
Good. That's pretty good.
109 strikeouts and 9 walks in 83 2/3 for Casey Mize.
When you're doing that many strikes to walks, you worry about getting hit. But when you have stuff as good as Casey Mize, it doesn't matter.
Only gave up more than 3 earned twice his entire junior campaign.
Oh, wow. No wonder the Tigers love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drooling about the thought of Torque and Casey Mize running Detroit now.
Oh, yeah. I would absolutely love that.
Yep.
Get like the next generation of Verlander and Miggy.
Yeah. I mean, Miggy, if Torque rises fast enough through the minor leagues, Miggy could still potentially be on the very back burner of his career once Torque arrives.
First pitch to Teodosio is sky on the infield. Riley Tirada battling the sun. He's under it, and he'll make the play for the 3rd out of the inning. The Harbor Hawks scratch across the run, courtesy of the E3 as the ball split the wickets of Jack Thomas Bold. It's now 1-0. We're through 4 here at McKeon Park. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Top of the fifth, 1-0. Hyannis over YD as we begin the fifth inning here at McKeon Park. 7, 8, 9. Samuelson, Cardenas, and Yeager to face Tommy McCollum here in the fifth. First pitch to Samuelson, fouled back into the netting. Strike one to Samuelson. Tate is technically without an at-bat today. He walked in the second inning. Only time he's come to the plate. The righty from Cal Poly hitting .235 this season. Here's the 0-1 from McCollum. Off speed, hit on the ground to the right side. Dribbles out to the second baseman, Dunn. Fires to first, right at the chest of Fair, and Samuelson's retired. Ground out to second from Samuelson. One down in the fifth. Hyannis leads 1-0 here over YD. They scored one in the bottom of the fourth inning on an error from Jack Thomas Wolt. It allowed Trevor Hauver to score from second. Now Noah Cardenas with the bases clear and one down for the Red Sox. Great start so far from Tommy McCollum. First pitch, breaking ball, misses low to Cardenas. It's 1-0. McCollum so far this season, an ERA over 5. Now just a couple of starts, but he had not thrown very many innings in 2 starts. He'd gone just 5 1/3. 1-0 ripped. Backhand play, the shortstop. Throw to first, in time to get Cardenas. Westberg fielded it in the hole, throws from the outfield grass, and Cardenas is retired. A couple of steps to his right. Great play by Westberg. Cardenas roped it on the ground. As I was saying, McCollum now getting some help from his defense in the midst of his best start. YD has mustered just 1 hit against McCollum so far tonight. First pitch breaking ball, misses low to RJ Yeager for ball 1. Bases are empty with 2 down in the fifth for the Red Sox. Yeager's 0 for 1 with the ground out to Westberg at short. 1-0. Skips in the dirt off the chest of Hackenberg. Ball 2. YD, like many this season, undefeated against the Harbor Hawks. Hyannis last in the league. Their 17 points are 18 points shy of the Bourne Braves, the second worst record team. Here's the 2-0 to Yeager. Fastball right down the pipe for strike one, taking all the way. 2-1, 2 down. YD, back almost a month ago, swept the Harbor Hawks 13-1 and then 9-7. Here's the 2-1. Yeager rips this one pretty deep in the air center. He gave that a ride. Teodosio's going back. The center fielder leaps and he makes the catch. A little hop near the track, and that's a fly out to center. Yeager cranked it, but it's allowed. Final out of the fifth. YD still just 1 hit through 5. 1-0 Harbor Hawks. It's the top of the Hyannis order coming up when we return here. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
31.
Bottom of the fifth inning, it's 1-0. Hyannis leads YD here in the bottom of the fifth. It's the penultimate game of the regular season, a part of a home-and-home series between the Harbor Hawks and the Red Sox. Westberg, Fair, and Goodman up for the Harbor Hawks in this inning. First pitch from Carlos Lamelli. Misses outside for ball one to Westberg. Lamelli in relief of Ryan Hare. He went 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 unearned run allowed, 1 walk, 3 Ks. 1-0 breaking ball from Lamelli, misses inside to Westberg, 2 balls and no strikes. Westberg is 0 for 2 today. Both his at-bats coming against the starter Hare for YD. Here's the 2-0 from Lamelli. Fastball buzzed right at the knees for strike 1, 2-1. Lamelli is making his 9th appearance of the season. He has 4 starts, a 1-3 record, an ERA over 9. Here's the 2-1. Westberg rips this one in the air to right. That's getting down near the corner, and it one-hops the wall. Samuelson out to dig it out near the corner. Westberg around second. He'll stop there. A loud double, a line drive into the right field corner to opposite field from Jordan Westberg. And it's a leadoff double in the 5th for the Harbor Hawks. YD in some trouble here against Hyannis. Bottom of the 5th inning, Hyannis leading 1-0. YD's bats have been silent today, just 1 hit through 5. And now Carlos Lamelli in some trouble early in his appearance out of the pen. Nobody down for Ian Fair. Fair has 1 hit today, a single in the 1st. Also a ground out to Wyatt Young at shortstop. But it was a sharp ground out. Hitting over 360 this season. First pitch, righty-righty. Off speed, freezes Fair for strike 1. Fair out of Northeastern. He has been red hot. Has hits in 16 of his last 18 games. Check on second. Back safely is the base runner Westberg. It was Yeager covering the bag for YD. Lamelli did the 180. Sidearm fire to second, but Westberg back in plenty of time. Nobody down here in the 5th. 1-0 Hyannis. Lamelli from the stretch. Set at the belt. Looks to second. Now the 0-1. Fastball flared foul up the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes to Fair. Lamelli's role has been interesting this season, Andre. He was a starter initially, pitched pretty well, and then hurt his finger in his 3rd start of the season after just a 1/3 of an inning against Chatham. Since then, he had to take a couple weeks off and has been mostly used out of the bullpen to limited success. 0-2, swing and a miss from Fair. He gets the first baseman swinging for the first out of the 5th.
It kind of feels almost like a bit of an inverse of Legend Smith in that I think Lamelli pitched well and is more comfortable as a starter. And I feel like he hasn't quite settled into his relief role because, like you said, it's been a mixed bag of results for him so far out of the bullpen. And I think he can be a very good weapon out of the bullpen in the fact that he has a starter's arm and the fact that he can eat up multiple innings if need be. But it feels like he's just been getting hit around more out of the bullpen than he was when he was starting.
Now Hunter Goodman, the RBI leader in the Cape League from Memphis. 35 ribbies with a man in scoring position here and 1 down. First pitch, swing and a miss over a breaking ball from Lamelli.
That was a great first pitch from Carlos Lamelli. Had him way out in front. Had him thinking fastball with 1 out, trying to get the RBI. Pulled the string on the changeup there. Got him way out in front for a good strike 1.
To your point, Andre, this year at St. Mary's, Lamelli had 14 starts. 0-1, called strike 2 right on the inner edge. A fastball freezes Goodman, and it's 0-2. Only 2 appearances out of the bullpen from Lamelli. Not a guy who walks a lot of people, just has been hit relatively hard of late. The righty with the 0-2 to Goodman. Checked his swing. He did go around. Ken Cyber doesn't even need to appeal. That's a swinging strikeout. Back-to-back Ks from Lamelli here in the 5th. 1-0 Hyannis. A leadoff double for them here in the 5th frame from Jordan Westberg, their leadoff hitter. But back-to-back strikeouts for 2 of their better hitters, Fair and Goodman. And that brings up Jared DeSantolo with 2 down. Lamelli, his last 3 appearances rather out of the pen, has not gone longer than an inning and a third and has given up at least 2 runs. First pitch to DeSantelo, popped up, foul territory, third base side, running grab made by Riley King. Maybe his signature play, an over-the-shoulder catch again down the left field line in foul territory. King reels it in. A scoreless fifth from Lamelli on the mound, working around the leadoff double from Westberg. 1-0. Hyannis through 5 here at McKeon Park. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 6th inning, it's 1-0. Hyannis over YD. YD to the plate here in the 6th. The top of their order to face Tommy McCollum, who is tossing a gem against the Red Sox. First pitch fastball misses inside for ball 1 to Wyatt Young. Young, Beasley, and Wells here in the 6th. They are a combined 1 for 6 against the righty McCollum out of Wingate. Here's the 1-0. Young skies it again underneath one down the left field line. Going to be a tough play. It's Olsen, now Westberg calling. It's the shortstop, and he makes the catch. Westberg for the first out off the bat of Young in foul territory on another pop out. 3 flyouts from Young today for the first out here in the 6th.
It does feel, Brian, like you said, he's lost a bit of that line drive ability of late. But, you know, he's too talented of a hitter. He'll make the adjustments. He'll work on it in BP, and he'll be right back to hitting line drives.
1 down, 1-0 Hyannis. Now Brad Beasley. First pitch from McCollum. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Beasley has the only YD hit today. A single in the second batter of the game off McCollum. He's 1 for 2 as well as a pop out. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses away to Beasley. A ball and a strike. And this is against the pitcher in McCollum, whose longest appearance of the season is 3 1/3 entering today. He's now through 5 1/3. The 1-1. Off speed misses low. 2 balls and a strike to Beasley.
There's one thing I want to point out as Austin Wells is standing on deck right now. Feels like a roulette game of what facial hair Austin Wells is going to be rocking to the ballpark on any given day. We've now seen the Fu Manchu, the goatee, and now the mustache is back.
Yeah. He's had the little goatee for a little bit. 2-1 to Beasley. Fastball knee high for strike 2. 2-2. Come playoffs, I know it's Steve Foucher and Scott Pickler's tradition to go with the
playoff stash.
They go playoff goatee.
Oh, see, playoff goatee I can get behind.
Yeah, so I think that's what you have to go with. Many on the team are discussing a playoff mustache, though. The 2-2. Beasley takes, called strike 3. Paint on the outside corner with the fastball. McCollum with his 4th strikeout today. And now a man he's gotten with the K twice. Austin Wells to the plate with 2 down.
Now batting for the Red Sox.
I know Alex Chapman, our scout liaison, is thinking the playoff mustache. Our great PA announcer, Joel, back at the Red, is ready to go playoff mustache as well.
I can't wait to see Joel's playoff mustache.
First pitch to Wells. Fastball misses high for ball 1. 1-0. Top of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 Hyannis. Bases are empty for Wells. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses away to Wells. 2 balls and no strikes. Wells struck out swinging in the 1st. A backwards K in the 4th against McCollum. Wells has been in the midst of the roller coaster with the rest of this Whitey offense. 2-0 breaking ball called strike. 2-1. 2 days ago, Wells was coming off a 6 for 7 with 4 doubles stretch. He's now 0 for his last 7, including 4 strikeouts. The 2-1. Fastball misses inside to Wells. 3 balls into strike. 1-0 Hyannis here in the top of the 6th. An unearned run against Ryan Hare for the Harbor Hawks. Here's the 3-1. Breaking ball in there for strike 2 to Wells, right at the top of the zone. Full count, 2 down now with the bases empty. Hyannis does have 1 shutout on the season, but this has to be one of their best pitching performances of the year to this point from Tommy McCollum. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball roped right at the second baseman on 2 hops, done. In the outfield, grass fires to first, and they get Austin Wells. A little bit of a fist pump from McCollum after he works through a scoreless 6th. 1-0 after 5.5 here in Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks lead the Red Sox. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's Hoover, Dunn, and Olson up for the Harbor Hawks against Carlos Lamelli. Hyannis leading 1-0. A pitcher's duel as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Lamelli out of the bullpen for YD in relief of Ryan Hare. First pitch to Trevor Hoover, called strike on the outside corner with the changeup from Lamelli. It's 0-1. Hyannis has gotten a gem to this point from Tommy McCollum. In his 3rd start of the season, has 1 hit in the Red Sox through 6. 0-1. Fastball backs up the lefty Hoover. It's at his knees. A ball into strike. We'll have more on the great start for McCollum in the top of the 7th when Whitey comes to bat again. 1-1. Right on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. But safe to say it is one of the best starts of the season for a Hyannis pitching staff that leads the league in ERA by almost 2 full runs. Here's the 1-2. Hoover fouls it away to the left side. Another 1-2 coming up.
Yeah, and you also think about it in context of the 2 previous matchups that these teams had. It was a 13-run rout, courtesy of the Whitey Red Sox back here at McKeon Park in the first time these 2 teams met. And then in the game at Red Wilson, I forget the final score off the top of my head, but it was a slugfest in that one as well. Certainly not anything that could have predicted a 1-0 ball game.
Another foul ball from Hoover. It's 1-2. Hyannis has been shut out 5 times this season. They themselves have 1 shutout. That's the least in the Cape League of a pitching staff. Here's the 1-2. Bounced foul again. Hoover and Lamelli having quite the battle to begin this 6th inning. Hoover's just been poking it up the 3rd baseline to stay alive against Lamelli. 2nd inning of work for Carlos on the hill. First team Cape League all lettuce has some of the best hair in the Cape.
First team all lettuce here on the Cape.
Long black flow behind the hat. 1-2, called strike 3. The breaking ball gets Hoover looking. 3rd strikeout in an inning and a 3rd from Lamelli on the hill. He's had good stuff today, Andre.
Yeah, Lamelli has looked good out of the pen this evening. That's now his 3rd strikeouts, and not a high-volume strikeout guy, Lamelli. He's a guy that really relies on soft contact. So to see him missing bats and freezing hitters the way that he is a good sign.
Now Lucas Dunn. He's 1 for 1 with a walk today. First pitch breaking ball, ropes, just misses Lamelli. Back through the middle for a base hit. An absolute screamer off the bat of Lucas Dunn, and that's a 1-out single. Second hit off of Lamelli, and Hyannis with their 6th hit of the day. They've peppered the outfield with baseballs throughout today's ball game. Only 1 unearned run to show for it. And it's Jackson Olsen with 1 down for Hyannis. Great crowd on hand here in Hyannis today, packing the bleachers surrounding the bowl behind home plate. First pitch to Olsen, bounced right back to Lamelli. He'll throw to second. That's Wyatt Young. Relay to first in time. Taylor made 1-6-3 double play. Gets Lamelli out of a quick 6th inning. Zeros on the board in the 6th. 1-0 Hyannis. We're after 6. 7th inning coming up next. It's Taylor Wolden King for the Sox. This is the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 7th, and Tommy McCollum's day has come to a close. A great round of applause for him here at McKeon Park in Hyannis. It's 1-0 Harbor Hawks over the Red Sox, and the new arm is Landon Kelly. First pitch swinging for Carson Taylor, a bouncer right at the first baseman fair. He jogs to the first base bag and steps on it for the first out of the 7th. So Kelly continues what McCollum was doing. McCollum goes 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and what play-by-play broadcaster for Hyannis just described to me as the #1 start of the summer for Hyannis, no questions asked, here against the Red Sox tonight. First pitch to Jack Thomas Wold. Fastball called strike on the outer edge from the righty Kelly. It's 0-1. YD has been baffled by this Hyannis pitching staff tonight. Here's the 0-1. Ripped on the ground, 2 hops right at the second baseman. High bounce for Dunn. Snares it and throws to first, and Wold is retired. 2 quick ground outs from the Red Sox, middle of the order, and that brings up Riley King with 2 down. Only 3 pitches from Landon Kelly to get 2 batters.
You like this YD team being aggressive because with the talent that they have up and down this order, generally speaking, that pays off for them against pitching staffs. But today, a lot of soft contact, a lot of balls hit right at defenders, especially on the infield.
Now Riley King, first pitch swinging, pops it up, first base side, foul territory, out of play. Fair runs out of real estate over on the first base side. That's strike one to Riley King. 2 down in the 7th, 1-0 Hyannis on the backs of their outstanding pitching. Tommy McCollum had only thrown 5 1/3 entering today. He goes 6 strong of one-hit baseball tonight. And now it's the bullpen's job for Hyannis. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, misses away to King, a ball and a strike. Hyannis just 7 wins on the season. This is game 43 for the Harbor Hawks. Here's the 1-1. Off speed misses low to King, 2 balls and a strike. They are the only team eliminated from playoff contention to this point. Everybody else still fighting for a chunk out of that title. Here's the 2-1. Fastball, called strike, a low strike at the knees of King. It's 2-2. Red Sox faithful thought that was low. King today is 0 for 2. First time facing a new arm aside from McCollum. Kelly from the wide. Here's the 2-2. Fastball, this one low, and the count is full. Bases are clear with 2 down. 2 down for King. 1-0 Hyannis. Samuelson on deck if Riley King can extend the inning. Here's the 3-2. Ripped on the ground, back the middle. Backhanded by Lucas Dunn, the second baseman, throws to first, and Riley King is retired. 1-2-3. Hyannis continues to deal on the mound. It's 1-0 Harbor Hawks, and we will stretch. Middle of the 7th here in Hyannis. This is Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Clemson, number 30, Adam Hackenberg.
Adam Hackenberg set to lead things off for Hyannis here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin here with you from McKeon Park. Pitchers duel so far, as it is 1-0 Hyannis here as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch to Hackenberg is waved at and missed from the new arm, Jacob Winger out of High Point.
Another big spot for Winger. I know it's the last 2 games and Whitey has a playoff spot clinched, but feels high leverage. If Whitey wants to get the wins against Hyannis, feels like Winger needs to kind of do something with this to keep Whitey in it.
0-2 pitch is fouled away, and the count holds 0 balls, 2 strikes.
Remember, fans, thanks to Everly of
Just
Cape Cod. You can
7
keep
combined
all
hits
balls
in this
we
one,
feel
6
tonight.
of them from Hyannis. The Whitey offense has been held at bay by the 2 Hyannis arms today. 0-2 pitch from Winger. Swung on and missed as he gets Hackenberg swinging on the off speed. And that's the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Jacob Winger.
So the Whitey pitching staff, while Hyannis has been impressive, YD's just hung right there with them. That's now 7 strikeouts from the YD staff over 7 innings. The team that has the most strikeouts in all of the Cape League coming in has lived up to their expectations, and it's an unlikely trio of Hare, Lamelli, and Winger.
First pitch to Teodosio is called a strike on the outside corner. He didn't agree, and it's 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch misses, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. After Teodosio, it's Westberg, who got a double in his last at bat. One pitch is waved at and miss. The off-speed pitch looks good for Winger here early, and it's 1-2. The book on Lamelli is closed. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, and 3 strikeouts.
Good outing for Carlos Lamelli. That has to give him some confidence after back-to-back rough ones.
Skied, shallow right field. Yeager going out on his horse. Samuelson coming in on his, and he'll put it away for the second out of the inning.
I know the game's not complete yet, but before the game, you and I remembered the last time we saw Samuelson in right field, it was a bit of an adventure. Today he looks really comfortable out there. Feels like he's gotten some more reps during BP out in the outfield and has been reading the ball really well today, has made a couple nice running catches, charging in. That's a good catch.
Yeah, and I think they always say the toughest play for an outfielder to make is the ball hit right at you, and he's handled both of them fairly well.
There's been a couple balls down the line that he's dug out quickly, held to doubles that I think he's handled well.
He looked good in left field last night as well. Another very versatile piece for Scott Pickler as we head into the playoff, where he's going to be tinkering with the lineup day in and day out.
It's only going to mean more playing time for Tate if he can play that corner outfield spot.
1-0 count to the leadoff hitter, Westberg. That one just misses upstairs, and it's 2-0. Is nubbed off the end of the bat. Yeager has to come in and field it. He'll go to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Winger. The pitching continues to be the story here at McKeon Park. We're through 7 full. It's still 1-0 Harbor Hawks. You're listening to Red Sox baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Top of the 8th inning here at McKeon Park. Tate Samuelson set to lead things off. Seven, 8, and 9 due up for the Red Sox, still against Landon Kelly. First pitch to him misses. Samuelson 0 for 1 on the day. That one smoked on the ground. It's foul. Great play down there by the Hyannis player.
Jake Palmer in the on-deck circle. Whitey knows they need base runners, and Jake Palmer's your guy to get on base.
Another one fouled on the third base line, and it's now 1-2 on Tate Samuelson.
And that's the reason why we might see Jake Palmer coming off the bench in the playoffs, is because he has such a role that he knows how to play it so well. If he can prove he can get on base consistently off the bench, you're talking about a guy who could come off the bench as a pinch hitter often.
1-2 pitch misses downstairs, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Similar to the likes of Eric Tolman, Sam Hall, guys who have a role can really execute.
That one's roped into left field. It's pushing Hauver back, but he'll make the play in front of the wall. That's the first out of the inning.
I feel myself rooting for Tate Samuelson to hit the ball well, because he takes over 100 swings a day, Andre, just trying to get his swing right. He knows what it feels like, and he knows it's not feeling good right now. That ball was barreled by Samuelson as well. It tried to feel good, but it's time to see the results, I think,
Absolutely.
for him.
Quick conversation on the mound from Hackenberg, and now we're back. Jake Palmer pinch hitting as Cardenas' day is done, and also Eric Tolman pinch hitting as well. He's on deck. Last time Eric Tolman was here, hit one off the J and Judy Walden scare file up there on the brand new scoreboard as it's 1-0 to Jake Palmer.
Yeah, Tolman on deck, Palmer here. Pitch thinking of walking a bomb.
Walking a bomb would be ideal for the Red Sox.
As opposed to the bloop and blast.
Yes.
Walking bomb.
Honestly, bloop and blast is a little more catchy.
I know.
Downstairs now, and it's 2-0.
But I'm trying to switch it up. Like, we need to come up with our own thing. Not just the bloop and blast, but walking, I don't know. We'll workshop it.
We'll talk in between innings as Jake Palmer looks at the called strike 2-1. It's got to be something that starts with a W that's synonymous for a home run. Walking a whammy.
Walking a wallop.
A wallop. I like wallop.
All right. That's the leader in the clubhouse.
Leader in the clubhouse is walking a wallop. 2-1 pitch misses upstairs, and Jake Palmer once again finds himself in a 3-ball count.
Always.
Always.
When's the last time he wasn't in a 3-ball count?
It does seem that way, that every at-bat is a 3-ball count.
Even when he gets to 2 strikes, then he goes into foul-off mode, and I'm just trying to poke it to left.
3-1 pitch. Chopped on the ground to short. Westberg across the diamond, and that's the second out of the inning. So 6-3 in the scorebook for Palmer, and now Eric Tolman will bat in the place of Tolman. Eric Tolman will bat in the place of Yeager, excuse me.
We knew what you meant. Tolman's in here for one purpose, and that's to
hit the J again.
Hit the J again, that's right.
Eric Tolman's got his sights set on the Judy Walden scare file J.
And he's going to be hunting fastball, Andre. He's hunting fastball. The approach for him has to be back through the middle to center field.
First pitch to Tolman. First pitch swing, and he chops it on the ground towards the Whitey dugout, and it's 0-1.
This is going to be his role in the playoffs as well. Down late in the game, Tolman's role is going to be a power hitter off the bench, especially against a righty on the mound.
Favorable matchup, righty-lefty. The 0-1 chopped same direction, fouling out of play, and it's 0-2.
And it's back-to-back breaking balls they start him with. That's knowing your scouting report for Hyannis. Good job knowing that Tolman can jump on any fastball you see. They remember when he hit it off that.
Oh, yeah. That was a first pitch fastball that Tolman got every bit of in the 13-1 route. Not starting him with the heat here. The 0-2. Rolled over to short. Westberg comes in, across the diamond, and it's a 1-2-3 inning.
Westberg at shortstop.
We are through 7.5. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 1-0 Harbor Hawks here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. New pitcher on the mound as Winger just goes one inning, probably just to get him some run, as we're in now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Andre Sims, Brian McLaughlin with you. First pitch from the new arm, Oscar Carvajal dots the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Big news in Harwich, 6-0, the Mariners over the Whitecaps. That could open things up. Harwich leading 6-0 with a 6 spot in the 2nd inning.
0-1 pitch is a good off speed, and it gets Ian Fair out in front, and it's 0-2. 2, 3, and 4 for the Harbor Hawks here in the home half of the 8th. And now it's 1-2.
That inning highlighted by a Chris Gallen 3-run homer in the 2nd. Corey Acton also a solo home run.
Waved at and missed. It's in the dirt. Austin Wells now donning the catcher's gear behind the plate. He'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and it's a good start for Oscar Carvajal.
Samuelson also in the game at second base. Jake Palmer into right field. That'll complete the changes.
Tolman's now.
Tolman's in left as well. Good call. Taking out both Yeager and Cardenas.
Versatile pieces here for YD as a host of defensive changes take place here in the bottom of the 8th as Carvajal's first pitch to Hunter Goodman misses, and it's 1-0.
Did you see the day that Chris Lanzilli had earlier for Harwich?
3 for 3, 3 home runs in the first game of their doubleheader today.
Over the last 10 games, his average has gone up 130 points.
That'll play,
That's
as
hard
they
to
say.
do. That's hard to do.
1-0 pitch misses downstairs at the shins of Goodman, and it's now 2-0.
That's a big win for Harwich if they hang on. Still early in the 4th. We know Brewster can hit the baseball.
Good change up there from Carvajal. That pitch is working. I think that might be his best pitch from a stuff perspective. He is really gets hitters out in front. 2-1. That one's skied foul and out of play, and it's now 2-2.
Fans, remember, thanks to Everly King, keep that foul off tonight. All right, fans, at our concession stand, quarter pound hot dogs and pizza, $1 while they last.
Carvajal's battled back from 2-0 to 2-2. Here's the pitch. Another one skied foul out of play. Still 2-2. Hyannis, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. YD, no runs, only 1 hit, and the 1 error is the ball that Bill Buckner, Jack Thomas Wold at first. It got through his legs and allowed Trevor Hauver to score as Hunter Goodman is retired swinging as Carvajal gets him to chase downstairs. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for the righty, and they're 2 down in the inning.
The designated hitter from Florida Atlantic, number 1, Jared DeSantolo.
So Jared DeSantolo now steps in. 0 for 3 on the day, popped up to Riley King in foul territory his last time up. First pitch to him is in the dirt, and it's 1-0.
Carvajal looks pretty good so far. A couple of strikeouts. He'll take that. This pitching staff continues to impress. 11 strikeouts now into the 8th inning for YD. So they're continuing their successful day.
1-0 pitch. There's the change up again from Carvajal, and it's 1-1.
And despite what Point Streak says, having that run be earned against Ryan Hare, I maintain that it was an unearned run due to the error by Jack Thomas Wold.
Yes. 1-1. Just downstairs, missed with the fastball at the knees, and it's 2-1. Two-1 to Jared DeSantolo. Change up again. He's gotten every Hyannis hitter he's faced to be out in front with that pitch, and it's 2-2.
So Alex Chapman calls Oscar Carvajal the Big O. I like the big change.
The big change.
The Big O is a good nickname too.
I think Oscar Robertson has that.
Yeah.
NBA Hall of Famer. Awkward swing there from DeSantolo as he fouls it back to the screen, 2-2.
He continues, though, to have swing and miss stuff. The fastball, his curveball, and today it's been the changeup. I think he's got to be with Taylor Dollard no longer on the roster due to hitting his innings limit. I feel like close game, Oscar Carvajal's your closer.
Two-two pitch just misses, and it's now a full count for Carvajal.
I mean, if you're aligning your bullpen right now as far as guys you want in a tight game back end, it's Carvajal and Winger. Jacob Winger has been that impressive recently. If Whitey has a tight lead in a playoff game, he's in there.
Payoff pitch. That one misses away, and it's a 2-out walk for Carvajal. DeSantolo reaches.
The left fielder from Arizona State, number 10, Trevor Hopper.
So that'll bring up Trevor Hopper. Doubled back in the fourth and then scored the game's only run. E-bats with 2 outs and a runner on first here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hyannis looking for an insurance run. First pitch. Fastball at the top of the zone. Just misses, and it's 1-0. However, 1 for 3 on the day. Struck out looking his last time up. DeSantolo takes his lead off first. 1-0 pitch also misses upstairs, and it's now 2-0.
He's been up with the off speed last couple pitches. It hasn't had quite the same location that he had first couple batters.
Two-one pitch. That fastball's in there at the thighs. It's 2-1.
I'd go back to the fastball. He's lost a little bit of command here. I'd go, he still throws 90 with the fastball. Yeah. That's going to be tough to hit with some movement. Go back to that and make them really barrel one.
Wyatt Young shaded slightly up the middle. 2-1 pitch is skied back out of play, and it's 2-2.
That was the fastball again. Now maybe 2-2. You go change up. If you miss, then back to the fastball. Full count is how I would attack here.
Resident pitching predictor Brian McLaughlin here.
Just trying to make my guess. If that's at least what I'd be thinking if I'm the hitter. At this point, I'm looking for the fastball again, trying to adjust off speed.
2-2. Went with the changeup, wanted it. Austin Wells held it for a little while. That one just misses in the eyes of Ken Cyber, and it's a full count once again.
And now full count. The Big O is going to come back with the fastball, I think.
I think it's going to be the changeup here.
All right, we'll see. He has a lot of confidence in the change. You might be right.
Payoff pitch. Runner goes. It was the changeup, but Hover spits on it, and it's back-to-back walks with 2 out, and Lucas Dunn will hit.
I'd see the fastball here. I think we're going to see actually a pinch runner first before any pitches are thrown.
Back-to-back 2-out walks for the Harbor Hawks, and that's a big-time insurance run waiting out there.
Number 17, Mitch McIntyre.
Mitch McIntyre on to pinch hit at second base for DeSantolo. And now Lucas Dunn, who in a game with not a lot of offense, has played well today. 2 hits and a walk, been on base all 3 times. First pitch to him. Flared the other way, but that will be foul, and it's 0-1. Crucial opportunity, crucial moment here for YD to keep the lead where it is at just 1-0 as they get to the bottom of the 9th. In the bottom of the 9th, they'll have the top of the order due up, Young, Beasley, and Wells. Exactly the spot in the order they want. Down a run. 0-1. There's the changeup. Got the swing and miss from Dunn, and it's 0-2.
All right, what are you thinking here? 0-2. Does he go back to the change?
Yes, he was way out in front on that changeup. I think as a pitcher, you're going to recognize that.
So I would agree. The other option, I'm looking fastball at the eyes.
Change the eye level.
Try to get it, and then you can come back, change up because you're so far ahead. The
0-2. Dotted the fastball on the outside corner. And that's a looking strikeout for Carvajal. He strikes out the side, sandwiched around 2-2 out walks. We head to the top of the ninth. Still 1-0 Harbor Hawks. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Highline Cape Cod Canal Cruise tickets go to 1.
Top 9 here at McKeon Park is Wyatt Young. First pitch swinging, flares it foul and out of play. So 0-1, 1, 2, and 3 in the Red Sox order. They need some offense here. This will be the final inning of play regardless of the result after 9. Wyatt Young, Brad Beasley, Austin Wells due up for the Red Sox down 1-0. Wyatt Young kept the hands back. Didn't matter. It was called a strike anyway, and it's quickly 0-2.
Still Landon Kelly on the mound. There is a righty up and throwing. It was Mitch McIntyre last inning for the Harbor Hawks, but at the moment it's Kelly's game.
0-2. That one misses wide, and it's now 1-2.
Wyatt on a bit of a cold streak here. The average dipping just a bit. Whitey needs him to get going before the playoffs.
Wyatt Young sporting the new red bat that he debuted yesterday. 1-2 pitch misses outside. Brad Beasley was also using the red bat.
It's because we had a bat shortage. We ran out of a certain length of bats. The 33s were gone.
You can't lose the 33 30s.
So Wyatt Young was sharing the Riley King bat.
2-2. On the ground, the other side. Westberg from the backhand. And they got him. Bang, bang play at first. Another outstanding defensive play from Westberg going into the hole, fielding the tough hop on the backhand. Close play at first. It will be the first out of the inning. Joe Peters making the out call there.
Close play. Bang, bang at first. Brad Beasley was standing right in front of me, so I didn't even see the play at first base. But it was close. Now a chance for Beasley and Wells.
First pitch to Beasley is an off-speed pitch that misses away, and it's 1-0.
Good news is Young saw that at bat well. A lot of pitches from Kelly on the mound and ended up barreling one really hard at the shortstop.
Beasley out in front of the off-speed pitch there, and it's now 1-1. Pitch count was relatively low for Landon Kelly, thanks to a quick eighth. That one misses inside. It's 2-1. That was pitch number 22 for the righty. Two 2-1. Beasley gets his bat through the zone, and it's 2-2.
He knew it too. He was not happy with himself after that check swing. He's looking fastball, but Kelly's in a nice job with the hooks.
Kelly does have one start this season, so length wasn't exactly an issue. As that one comes in and catches Beasley on the shoulder. You're the Red Sox, you'll take a base runner any way you can get it.
Painful way, though, for Beasley.
Yeah.
You would have preferred a single right there than the hit by pitch.
Looks to be okay, though.
That's only the 4th base runner today for the Red Sox. They had 14 straight sat down before that hit by pitch by Beasley. They've not had a hit since the 1st.
That hit was Beasley's, the lone hit of the game for the Red Sox.
Now batting for YD, the catcher for
Austin
Hughes,
Wells will now
Arizona,
step in, and
Austin Wells.
looks like we may have a pitching change here. No motion yet. Seems to just be a conversation right now.
But the question might have been, I think the deal prior to the inning was, if you let a base runner get on, I'm going to the pen. Still no signal.
Yeah,
no.
still no official word. Quick conversation. Landon Kelly said what needed to be said. He's going to stay out there and face Austin Wells. 0 for 3 on the day with a couple of strikeouts.
Chad Gassman let his pitcher fight for that one. That's interesting that he lets him stay out there. YD has power in these next 2 spots with Wells and Taylor.
A couple of defensive changes for the Harbor Hawks as Rowdy Jordan's in and left, and Rigsby Mosley is now playing right field, so changes on the corners as Beasley dives back into first. Austin Wells has a home run here at McKeon Park, went the other way for a 3-run bomb the first time these two teams met. First pitch to him misses away, and it's 1-0. One 0 pitch to Wells. That one just misses below the knees, and it's 2-0. Hitters count for the slugger from the University of Arizona.
Here's the pitch. If Kelly goes fastball. If Kelly goes fastball, look for Wells to drive one to left center. That's his spot when he's seeing the ball well.
Roped into center field. Teodosio's crashing, quick dives, and he makes the play. The throw behind Beasley to first. They got him. What a play to end it for the Harbor Hawks. An 8-3 double play. Teodosio comes in on the dive. Beasley was 2/3 of the way to second base, and a strong throw back to first got him.
Final. Wow. Second shutout of the year for the Harbor Hawks. Teodosio, one of the best defensive players in the league. He might not hit all that well, but that's a great catch out there in center. Laying out, diving forward. If he misses that, that rolls to the wall. Beasley scores. No doubt. That is a gamble. And for maybe the first time this year, a Harbor Hawk gamble just paid off.
It was an outstanding play to cap off what was an absolutely dominant night for the Hyannis pitching staff. The combination of Tommy McCollum and Landon Kelly, one hit the YD Red Sox. And Brian, we talked about it in the open. It was a favorable matchup for YD. It turned out as anything but in this one. What do they have to do to bounce back tomorrow to close out the season strong?
I tell you what, they get one hit tonight, but I felt like they had a lot of hard hit balls that Hyannis made really good plays on. I felt like there were some really squared up, just right at people, or were slowed down by the grass. If you're YD, that's baseball for you. Every once in a while, a game like this is going to happen. Tomorrow's a big one, though, because you want some positive momentum now going into the playoffs. I expect the offense to come out and have a really big performance, just continuing to swing the bats, be aggressive tomorrow. I think the offense is going to try to jump out and make a statement if I had to guess.
Conversely, they do take the loss in this one, but this was an outstanding day for the YD pitching staff as well. What'd you like from the combination of Ryan Hare, Carlos Semelli, Jacob Winger, and Oscar Carvajal?
That's going to be the strikeouts, right? I mean, this group, Carvajal strikes out 3, Hare and Lamelli both strike out 3, and Winger a 1-2-3 only inning on the mound. that is a really great group of 4, because I think when you look at Lamelli, Winger, Carvajal, they're going to have to pitch in big-time spots, and they did so successfully. Ryan Hare was in the strike zone today, 4 soft hits, 1 unearned run, probably his best start as a YD pitcher despite taking his 3rd loss. I'm really optimistic with what I saw about the pitching staff for the first time in a long time today.
Yeah.
You'll take that moving forward. It's a YD loss tonight, but there's a lot to like about it, even though it's a loss to Hyannis, which if you had told me YD loses this one 2-0 coming in, I would have been shocked. And I would have said, oh boy, YD probably played terribly. That's not the case.
Yeah.
Hyannis probably just had their game of the year tonight.
Absolutely. You know, I think with this YD team, if you were to tell Scott Pickler that his pitching staff was in the entire game is only going to give up 1 unearned run and only 6 hits, you like YD's chances to win that ball game. And so I think, like you said, Brian, that's baseball. These kind of games happen. I think they're going to be able to move on from this quick.
I do too, but I tell you what, Pick is a detail-oriented guy, and he's not going to be happy with the offense's production. Despite me taking the optimistic route, what I just walked through it to everybody, hard hit balls, saw a lot of pitches today. They need to do a better job of getting on base and getting traffic out there. They did not do that today. I'd expect Jake Palmer in the lineup playing a big role tomorrow for that reason. Sam
agree.
Hall in there as well, trying to cause havoc on the base paths.
Final lines in this one. Hyannis takes the 1-0 victory. They had 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. YD, a goose egg, 1 hit, 1 error in this one. That'll do it for all of us here at McKeon Park. It's the finale tomorrow. Brian McLaughlin and TJ Mathewson will be there at Red Wilson to bring it to you. They take on these same Hyannis Harbor Hawks once again. 4:45 start time. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening to Red Sox Baseball. For Brian McLaughlin, I'm Andre Sims signing off from McKeon Park.